Hey, welcome to this episode of Reestablishment. Hey, today I got a question for you. Are leaders made or are they born? Think about that for a second. How are leaders developed to become a leader? Is it something that you got it or you don't? Or is there a series of steps or some hardcore training to get you to that point? What makes a good leader? We're going to tackle those things today. And with me today is B.J. Anderson. His dad, Brian Anderson, I would put in the realm with, John Maxwell or Simon Sinek or any of those other folks that most of us look to. And so as B.J. grew up, he now oversees the family business, QP3. And they are a national leadership management kind of a company that fosters these things in big corporations. So he's here with us today. Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome.
Hey, Bodie, thanks for having me on, man.
So what do you think about what I just said?
I believe that when we're born, we are given gifts and talents, and everyone has different ones, right? And as we can see in the person what they are individually. So I think people are born with those leadership qualities. However, you can also develop leadership qualities within people. Some might have a stronger leadership quality than others in talent and gift, and that can be developed. That's not to say that someone can't be a leader, that they weren't born with that. They can be developed into one. However, there's different aptitudes, I would say, about the level of a leader that someone can become.
So guess what I just heard the other day? Large organization, they have almost 3,000 employees, and they're having a hard time getting people to want to take a promotion exam.
Okay.
So there are certain folks I don't know if you would classify them as millennials or Gen Zs or how you would do it, but they're saying that they don't want the responsibility. They don't want to be leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And so this organization is now trying to figure out, well, how do we train folks to want to be leaders? So if you take a look at today's Gen Z people, which is fine, good group of folks that we're seeing want to come back and work with their hands,
mm-hmm.
but they value their work-life balance different than those that went before them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, no, I just want to work. I don't want to be on call. I don't want the hassle of the extra responsibility. What do you say to folks like that?
Well, I'd say leadership is a 24/7 thing, right?
Yeah.
Growing up in the family business, my dad would always say it's the cost of ownership. I remember one time it was Sunday night and we were working on a project and we were on vacation. And we looked at each other, we're on the kitchen counter, and we looked at each other just like, what are we doing? My dad goes, BJ, what are we doing? And I was like, we're running the business, Dad, right? And he goes, yeah, you're right. But if someone doesn't want to become that leader, I don't think they should be forced into that position either. You're talking about putting someone in the wrong position. Are they going to
be devastating?
Right. Are they going to be successful? Most likely not. So I think it's fine. And I would say there are definitely in that Gen Z and that millennials, there are people who do want to be leaders. But the far majority, they want to be more creative. They want to be have more freedom, personal freedom, and that's fine, right? And that might be their gift and talent that they have, and that should be celebrated.
So one of the big things I used to tell people is the higher up the ladder you go, the more of a servant you should become.
Mm-hmm.
CEOs of companies should be the biggest sponsor, foster, servant of their employees that there are.
Yeah.
At the very top level, your job is making sure that everybody else can do their job.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, people think it's a power trip or whatever. It's not. It's really about servanthood and about finding ways for your employees or those in your organization
mm-hmm.
to be able to function at the best and most efficient level. So when QP3 comes in to a company, where do you start? Do you look at the company's best practices? How does that work?
Well, it starts with what is this, and it's the leadership's goals. So in dealing with an executive or a director of something, it's what are your goals? What are the outcomes that you want to achieve with bringing us in? They need to be able to, as a leader, they need to be able to articulate that, right? They need to have a clear vision of what they want, of what goals they have that they want to achieve. Then it goes into, okay, you have these goals that you want to achieve. Who are the people that are going to help you achieve them? Then it gets into, you're talking about best practices of their people, of their organization. What we do specifically is we don't just go in there with like, hey, here's the plan, here's what we need to do. We customize any training that we do to the organization. So it's tailor-made for them based on their highly productive, successful people. I just want to say what you're talking about. You're talking about servant leadership, right? Yeah. And that's really high-level leadership because it has to look from that perspective. And so what we ask a potential client to see if they're going to be the right fit for us is, what do you want your people to get out of this? And what vision do you have for them? How do you want to develop your people? If you want to differentiate between like a manager and a leader, are you developing your people or not?
Somebody told me once, the difference between a manager and a leader is a leader leads people, a manager manages things.
Yeah.
If you manage cars or you manage pencils or whatever, or schedules, it's
budgets,
different than being a leader and leading people.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about leadership. So somebody that may be younger or maybe in a new career field that's transitioning, and they want to be in a position of leadership. How long does it take to foster that? How long does it take to be able to, like when you do your training classes, is that a week? Is it a month? A year? Ongoing?
We're not going to say, hey, we're going to turn you into a leader in 1 week, right? It's a continuous development of building your skill sets and really also assessing this person's aptitude. Some people, it might just click for them, right? And they'll pick it right up and run with it. Others, they have to take a slower approach. And also, what support are they getting from up top to make sure, what term we like to use, are they getting set up for success? And that helps a lot as well.
Yeah. Do most of your clients work well with you? Do you have any that you're like, they just weren't playing the game right?
Well, like I said, we like to vet who we're going to bring in and work with, right? Like I said, do they have clear goals of what they want? Are they a reputable company? Are their goals aligning with ours as well? Thankfully, we've had a lot of very, very good clients. Obviously not everyone is tremendous, right? And it's like, I don't think we're going to pursue working with them in the future, and that's fine, right? That's fine. Just it's different goals
so
that they have.
So when your dad set up your company, and full transparency, your father and I were friends for over 30 years. Where did he get his original principles from to set that up?
So a few different places. I would say when he started his company, he had law enforcement experience, right? And so he was a sergeant there. And so he was putting into practice some ideas that he had, doing a lot of research. He was a voracious reader. Before that, he was is pretty funny, he was in ministry. And in ministry is where he really saw a lot of biblical principles that could be applied to leadership and to management. And he went to Florida Bible College for 2 years. He had a theology degree. He didn't have a business degree or anything like that. That's really the genesis of where these principles of management and leadership really began, is then.
It was foundational.
Absolutely. And those kind of principles, they have no expiration date, right? It's not, well, this worked in 1980, but now it's 2024. That's outdated. These have been principles for thousands of years that are not going to ever go out of style or be less effective.
I think it's funny because Fortune 500 companies use the same principles. They just don't give the same credit on where they come from.
Yeah.
So somebody asked me the other day, I got to ask you, where did the name QP3 come from?
That's a really great question, because definitely for the first person, it's a tongue twister, right? But it's quality people, quality processes, quality products. So quality, P,
Yeah.
3 times, QP3 training systems.
Awesome. So if a company or somebody wants to get a hold of you guys, where do they go?
QP3.com. My email address is bja@qp3.com. My phone number is 727-742-0045.
Thank you very much. It's good to have you today.
Thank you, Bodie.
We'll be doing some more stuff together in the future. And what we'll do is some of the things we're going to collaborate on, we'll bring them back to you and give you some updates here on the Reestablishment Podcast. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
This episode of Reestablishment is brought to you by Man360.tv, a show for men about manly things. Check it out, Man360.tv.